railway station. From there we follow the street along the railway line until we come to the landfill. We turn off, head up Dillon's Track, up until we come to the junction with the tunnel track. We'll follow for some time before heading off up to Mt Wondabyne. And then we continued back along the track, eventually turning off Tomo's Loop to go into Kariong Brook, over Myong Creek, up to the junction with the Mooney Track, and down to Wondabyne railway station. After the 3 and a bit kilometre hike along the streets, we get to the landfill. We can go through the gap in the fence. And after another few hundred metres, we enter the national park. We follow this trek for about 1.5 kilometres until we get to the intersection. And here we take a little shortcut. And we turn right to get onto the tunnel track. A few hundred metres up here, there used to be a gate across the track, but it looks like it's been bulldozed out. After another few hundred metres, we pass the Rocky Ponds track, and then we follow the signs to Mt Wondabyne. This track climbs up for a few hundred metres until it comes to the camping site. Not much here really, just a fireplace and a couple of nice little spots to put your tent. It was a bit messy when I was there. From here we follow the track, climbing up towards Mt Wondabyne. And we'll take the little detour along the pathway that'll take us up to the summit and to the trig pillar. Halfway up this climb there is a little cave which is very useful for shelter should the weather turn a bit inclement. There are great views from up the top here. We can see our destination, Wondabyne railway station next to the quarry. And the views are 360 degrees. When we eventually turn round and look to the east, we can see Gosford and Woy Woy. And down to Edelong and Umina. Back on the track, it descends quite quickly until we arrive at the maintenance track. Here we turn right and follow this for a few hundred metres. Where we can turn left and head along the bush track, following the signs to Gurako. Along this track, there's some quite nice views back up towards Wondabyne from a different angle. This trek follows along quite a few rock platforms, and eventually it comes out to meet up with Tomo's Loop. This we follow for the next 1.5 kilometers. And then we arrive at the turn-off to Kariong Brook and down to the falls. This track is flat for some time. We passed a clearing that's been used as a campsite. Shortly after this, it starts to descend quite steeply, and there's been some handholds put in there to make life a bit easier. From here it descends very steeply down to the waterfalls. We followed the trek up over the hill, back down the other side to Mt Creek. We crossed that. This is quite a nice creek. And on the downside of the creek there's several little cascades and falls that takes it down to a big pool. From here we take on one of the major climbs up onto the ridge. Again, this section ends up falling along several rock platforms. I was having a rest in the rock, heard some humming, and I realised I was sitting very close to a native bee hive in the roots of an old tree. From here we continued to climb until we meet up with the Mooney Track. From here it's a 2.5k walk back down to the railway station. As you're descending along this track, you get nice views back to Mt Wondabyne. And after about 2 kilometers, you arrive at the little clearing. The class is a rest area, not a camping site. From here, we start our descent down to the railway station. From here, we simply have to wait for a train to arrive to take us home.